All right, so we have been able to get this line through, which is good, and hopefully we can get an update on the roads which are underwater in many parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Kwanele Ncalane is the spokesperson for the Department of Community Safety and Transport in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you so much for joining us. Really glad we could connect with you. What are you hearing about the safety of communities affected by the flooding? We've heard 45 people dead, many more missing. Do you have any update?
Thank you very much, Sally, and good afternoon to all the viewers at home. Currently, we are monitoring the situation across the province. We can continue to encourage motorists that they should stay away from using roads, and if they can, postpone their trips, because even though the rainfalls have subsequently stopped, however, there are still some lot of potential for more rains to come. Therefore, it's still unpredictable. We will want them to risk their lives. But also, we've got roads that are completely shut down, R603 in Mbumbulu, N2 in Galeria, and many other bridges which have been wiped away. But obviously, like the Premier said, there's still a lot of work that is happening on the ground to conduct further assessments. However, we are hoping that today, as the Premier alluded, that there's going to be a special cabinet meeting. A preliminary report will be tabled, which will then indicate which critical areas that they are going to need attention. But the damage is quite huge.
We've been looking at shots, in fact we are looking at shots of a very long bridge over a river, and you can see it sagging in the middle. This doesn't look like a small village bridge. This looks like a significant bridge. I'm wondering what's going to be made, what plans are going to be made for the Easter weekend. I would imagine, much as you probably need the income, the last thing this area needs in the coming days is an influx of people. What about the Easter weekend?
Yes, it's one of our major concerns as the Department of Transport, because you'll recall that there are also some major constructions that are happening in the province on the N3, especially between Howick and Pietermaritzburg to Durban. There's a major construction that is taking place. There are many other sites where we've embarked on a road rehabilitation program. So all those roads are going to be of major concern because of the influx and the volumes of traffic of people that are going to be coming to the province for the Easter weekend. Now, in addition to that, we have got projects that are damaged, including the very same ones that are undergoing construction. Some of them have been damaged due to these heavy rains and floods. So it's quite a devastating impact. However, we are going to be making sure that as the province, we do not let our guard down. We will continue making sure that we monitor also the traffic volumes and the behavior of motorists. However, we urge and appeal to people that they leave early to their destinations and to the areas of worship or holidays, so that at least they can have time at their disposal and make sure that they're able to maneuver within all these challenges that are happening.
So are you saying that people should still come down to Durban for the Easter weekend if they've planned a holiday?
Well, we are encouraging them. You know that we are a tourist destination province, even though there are areas that will have been affected, especially around the beaches and so forth, like Mayor Kaunda was alluding early in the morning. But we will be able to give a comprehensive picture as the week progresses. We are hoping that we are still a preferred destination to holiday makers, and we will also be open to our visitors. However, we are going to encourage all of them to be cautious and make sure that in any case where rain becomes unpredictable and where there are heavy rainfalls, they quickly go to find shelters and be in a place of safety. But we will be on the ground. As the Premier has started and leading the delegation, the authorities will be on the ground making sure that they are monitoring the situation, making sure that even those that will be violating the law are dealt with. So we will continue making sure that amidst all the challenges that the province of KwaZulu-Natal is a safe province.
I want to speak to you about the situation within communities from a community safety perspective. Are you able to tell us if there are people still trapped needing rescue at this hour?
Well, the report by the disaster management team from the Department of COCTA has indicated that there are people who are still missing. Whether those people are trapped or they've been washed away, it's still going to be revealed as the teams are on the ground to conduct further investigations. We are hoping that the number is not going to escalate from the 45 that has already been reported. However, once all the missing people have been accounted for, we'll be able to come to a conclusive figure to how many casualties due to this situation.
How many people are missing at this point? Do you know?
Well, we do not have the figure currently. We are relying on families that are coming to report their people in police stations and in disaster teams, in the councillors and all the structures, the community structures. So we will then be able to continue with the work. Our teams are on the ground. The disaster, the search and rescue teams are on the ground, including our police, by the way. They are also monitoring the highways, doing diversions and so forth. So once all that work, the mop-up operation is started, we will be able to give a full account as to how many people are missing and if they were found alive, or if there are additional numbers of the already mentioned number of fatalities.
I would imagine you've got a better idea of people who've lost their homes and need to be looked after overnight. Tell us how many people there are that government is going to have to look after this evening, and which areas are they being kept in? Which are the most worrying areas?
Yes, as I've mentioned, that the Premier has called an special provincial executive council meeting. It will be assessing the impact and also mapping up the interventions, the integrated intervention by the entire provincial government, including the affected municipalities. Already the municipalities have started availing holds in affected areas like Enanda, Umzinyati, most parts of Durban, and in Shallcross, in Chatsworth, going down south, because the most areas that are affected are the areas that are along the coast. So in all the areas, the municipalities, their disaster management teams have been activated, so there are places that have been provided to make sure that there are shelters, but we also asking to anyone who can extend a hand to come to the party and make sure that we work together to make sure that those families are provided with a place of safety and making sure that they've got something like things like blankets and all other basic necessities.
Mr. Ncalane, do you have a figure of how many people need help at this point?
No, I wouldn't have that figure because, like I say, that the people are still there. Some are still displaced. Some are still trying to access their homes. However, because of the damage that has happened, they are not sure whether the structure is still intact or it might collapse even if there is no rainfall because the foundation and the walls have been shaken. So it will be difficult at this stage. However, like I said, that as government, we are going to be working closely with municipalities, making sure that those that are in desperate need, we come to the party and we're able to assist them.
Can you say if the worst of this flooding is over? Is there still a risk of more rain, more flooding, more mudslides?
Well, according to South African Weather Service, it seems like we are up for the worst. We would have indicated that we should expect that there will be more floods like this in the coming weeks, in the coming months. So it's quite unpredictable because of the changes in weather patterns. We assume that the issue of global warming as well also has got an impact. And in our case within transport, it was quite serious because some of the structures, the low-level bridges that were built years ago with the anticipation that the water will never cross over those rivers, we've seen them now water crossing over and those bridges being washed away. There is quite a lot of work that needs to be done. In the previous assessment that we've done during the December floods, was estimated a damage of about 3 billion. It means now, in addition to that, we have to go back, conduct further assessment. So it means there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But also, it's also impacting negatively on the progress and service delivery, because instead of focusing on building new projects, building new bridges, putting up new tie in communities that do not have tie at the moment, we still have to go back and fix the damage that has been done. So it's quite a lot of work.
Absolutely. Kwanele Ncalane, thank you so much. Spokesperson for the Department of Community Safety and Transport in KwaZulu-Natal, and the problems in the province stacking up. Of course, 2019 floods cost the province about $1 billion. We know, of course, there's still repair work being done after the July riots of last year. So there is much to be done in that province.